The world marks the International Safe Abortion Day next week, with emphasis on the access to legal and safe abortions as a right for women.
Well, in Kenya, the debate continues to rage on the legal status of access to abortion, with the reproductive health rights activists celebrating a landmark decision that prohibited arrest and decriminalized prosecution of those seeking and offering post-abortion care in this country. And as Brenda Wanga reports in this special feature, these celebrations could be cut short as Christian professionals move to court to challenge the ruling.
Deep in the interior of a village in Ganze, the dilapidated road takes you to the homestead of a family that is at the center of a landmark ruling on the right to access to post-abortion care for both clients and healthcare workers. PAK, as she was identified in court proceedings, is now 19 years old and out of high school. But about 2 years ago, her education journey was nearly halted permanently when she got pregnant in Form 2. Her family can barely eke out a living in this harsh economic environment. Her peasant parents couldn't afford to pay her fees, a task that fell upon her elder brother. She was scared of the ramifications if her brother found out that she was pregnant. That was the start of a process that nearly claimed PAK's life. Her parents, unaware of just how close they came to losing their daughter. She took the pills prescribed by her friends, and that is when everything went wrong. Her parents were unaware of the danger that was lurking in their compound until 2 days later, when they couldn't find her at home or at school.
Okay, mimi sikuwa najua, nilimkuta tu pale hospitali. Kufanya gundua na jirani, nakwambia nimaliza siku 2 hapa nyumbani, simjui aliko. Kumbe yeye alikwenda huko kwa Chamalo kwenda kutoa hiyo. Ikaja tukaambiwa na jirani, tukaenda huko kwa jirani.
Salim Ismail Mohammed is a trained and registered clinical officer serving then in a health facility near PAK's home. He was on duty when she came into the facility that evening.
I received a patient who had pregnancy complications. So I treated her like any other patient that is treated in the facility. So after examination, investigations, and third examination, we found that she had lost her pregnancy, and she was bleeding, and she was in pain. So we admitted her. We did the relevant treatment schedule for the same. So it was in the evening, almost 7 o'clock in the evening. So plainclothes officers stormed in the facility, and they asked for the in charge. So I was in charge at the time.
The law enforcement officer arrested both patient and caregiver, forcing the facility to hand over their treatment records. PAK was further submitted to arbitrary examination at a government facility to prove that she had procured an abortion, and the pair were promptly charged in court.
We stayed there for a day or two. Then we are arraigned in court, whereby I was charged. We are charged separately I was charged for giving the service and my patient was charged for procuring abortion.
That prosecution opened the door for another case challenging the government for arresting and charging the two, and the verdict, which came out earlier in the year, is turning the debate on access to abortion and post-abortion care services in Kenya on its head. The Center for Reproductive Rights, a non-governmental organization that filed the case, says the judgment in the case filed in Malindi is a big win for women and healthcare providers.
To the Constitution and to facilitate women and girls to access abortion as prescribed in the Constitution without unnecessary limitations, without unnecessary restrictions. The court also declared that the communication between a provider and the patient is privileged and protected in law and cannot be forcefully accessed and can also not be used to charge a provider or a patient for any criminal offense. In a nutshell, the court is saying what a patient tells a doctor or a clinician is protected, and you cannot infringe on that privacy and use that communication to charge the patient.
The ruling also prohibited forced medical examination of women to ascertain that they have procured abortions for purposes of prosecution. However, the Kenya Christian Professionals Forum and two others have challenged that ruling. Charles Kanjama is a petitioner's advocate.
The main idea of the Malindi court judgment was to say that there is a right to abortion. And those are words that have not been used in any Kenyan law before the Malindi decision. So it basically meant that there is a right to kill the unborn child. This was the implication of the Malindi judgment.
The CRR maintains that the ruling only gives young girls and women the right to access these services within the law without endangering their lives.
Our law encourages all women and girls who may be in need of abortion services to speak to a trained health professional. Do not go to a quack because your health will be in danger. Go to a trained health professional. And the Constitution then protects that trained health professional to provide you with the necessary care. And that is what the court in Malindi has affirmed.
Article 26 of the Constitution is titled Right to Life. That is the first and the most important human right, because without the right to life, you can't enjoy any other right. You can't enjoy political freedom, you can't enjoy freedom of opinion, religious freedom, you can't enjoy freedom from discrimination, you can't even enjoy human dignity if you are dead. For you to enjoy any human right, you have to be alive. And Article 26 of the Constitution is titled Right to Life.
Unsafe abortions in the country are said to account for 2,600 deaths annually, translating to 7 deaths daily, most of the victims from humble backgrounds and who can't afford private health care, just like PAK. The same abortions are also said to account for the rise in cases of maternal deaths in Kenya. Catherine Atieno runs a reproductive health facility at the heart of Malindi town.
I know all the challenges that it comes with. SRH cannot wait. It is a service that should be rated as any other medical services, and it should be rated as an emergency as any obstetric emergencies. But the government decided to keep the SRH services at bay.
On this day, we find a client recovering from the procedure. She came to the clinic early morning to procure an abortion for reasons she says she can't disclose, but ones that are necessary for her mental well-being.
It was, although it was somehow painful, but at least I knew it was, I trusted the service because it's a medical procedure. I'm in a facility that I trust. Other than going to a certain dispensary anyhowly and maybe it becomes incomplete, I get complications, I end up spending more, I end up getting traumatized because I could keep and remain healthy. But now that there are some services like this, I think sensitization is a key.
The CRR says a court judgment now makes it possible for women like this one to avoid the stigma and health risks that come with unsafe abortions once Parliament makes the necessary amendments to the law and the Ministry of Health as well. The Christian professionals unions are hopeful that the challenge of the Malindi judgment, now at the Court of Appeal, will be successful and restore the defense of the right to life. But reproductive health services providers and proponents hope it will not and effectively safeguard the gains made in a field and issue that remains highly divisive in Kenya. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.